Big Brother Rewind is sponsored by Hover.com. Go to gfq.hover.com and get 10% off your entire purchase. FreshBooks. FreshBooks is an easy-to-use online invoicing service that saves you time, gets you paid faster, and makes you look professional. Get started completely for free at freshbooks.com. And by audible.com. Get a free audiobook by going to audiblepodcast.com/GFQ.
Tonight on the GFQ Big Brother Rewind, Portia evicts Jordan, making herself, Rachel, and Adam the final 3 house guests. Who will become the last HOH? And who will be crowned winner of Season 13? All this and more on this week's Big Brother Rewind.
Welcome, everybody, to Big Brother Rewind. I am Andrew Zarian. I am joined by Jessica, as I'm each and every week.
Hello.
And this week, someone that many of the regular viewers of the GFQ Network will know, but many people that watch Big Brother Rewind will not know, or they might. The person who does all our voiceover work, the person who does all our graphics, and the person who pretty much tells me, Andrew, you're absolutely wrong, don't say that. Is Sunkast. Sunkast is here with us. Hey, how you doing, Sunkast? He's
hey, what's up?
I guess the production director of the GFQ Network.
Call me whatever you like.
And he just happens to be a Big Brother fan. He's been really following the season as much as we have here, and boy, do we have a lot to say. The season is drawing a close, right?
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. I think that it's awful. I'm so angry.
So upset, right?
So upset. I'm over it all.
And I'll tell you why I'm not happy with the season. And a lot of it is going to be a lot of my unhappiness. I knew from the beginning, and I had said, it's going to be tricky. The season's going to be tricky. And you knew there were problems from the beginning. It was obvious. They had Dick left. They had a lot of issues with that.
I think we had questions even before that, though.
Yeah, what were the questions before Dick left? Do you remember?
It was just how all of this is going to work between vets and newbies, having 2 different groups of people in there. Mm-hmm. How is all of that going to work, and is it going to work well? That's what really set up the season. And then to add insult to injury is when evil Dick left within the first week. Yeah,
it's interesting because I don't think Jordan was kind of set to win this season. I don't think Dick was going to win. I think it was kind of set for Jeff or Danielle to kind of fight it out at the end.
Yeah, I thought it would be Danielle.
I honestly thought Danny had the best odds. Mm-hmm. I would have liked to see Danny win. Dom was kind of looking like a strong player from the beginning.
He had good social game.
I think Brendan could have possibly won. But this was and I said this week 1 of the show. When you add a twist like this, and I've said it multiple times, you're really risking something going wrong because the entire season, in my opinion, was based around Dick being in the house.
Yes.
The flip-flopper was going to be Dick. Dick was going to run both sides. It was kind of, and this is all my opinion, and I could be wrong, and I've gotten a lot of emails over the last couple of weeks from viewers, kind of validating what I've been saying. And when Dick left, I said, oh, my God, it's last season all over again with this stupid, stupid twist. Mm-hmm. Then we go down the season, and we see a lot of the stuff that they kind of want is not happening. Dom should not have left that early.
I don't think he was ever meant to. And I don't think Danny was ever meant to leave that early.
You don't think so? Yeah, no. Danny and Jeff left early. I think Danny and Jeff, it would have been a great Final Four if it was Danny, Jeff, Rachel, and possibly, I don't know who from and Adam would have been in the Final Four.
Mm-hmm. The problem you have is that the people that you have left, the Final Four and the Final 3, which is now, I believe, Adam, Rachel, and Portia, out of those people, who are the real competitors? Who's actually going to compete? Who's actually going to make this thing really interesting?
Well, none of them. I mean,
Portia and Adam? I don't think so.
Final 4, Final 5 is when it gets interesting and it gets really good. I've always felt that the last 5 people really fight it out, and nobody fought. Again, it was like last season. No. Again, it was the same crap as last season. Everybody sat down and people cried and nobody did any moves, and
right.
It was it. But I think that's what's become a Big Brother. And when you add in veterans, and this is a ratings nightmare. And I don't know, I haven't really checked the ratings. I don't know, Sunkast, if you could check it while we're doing the show. But
I've heard throughout the season that the ratings have been pretty good.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand why, because to me, it's been a horrible season.
Yeah. Well, I think people are going to watch it. Like, the people who are into it are going to watch it, and that's
They're all
it.
Freaking Rachel fans.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
incredibly
yeah.
angry about the whole season, but I'm still watching.
Yeah. See, I'm same thing with me.
You're invested. It's time you'll never get back. You feel like, even like when you're watching an awful movie and you just know it's so bad and it's not going to get better, you feel like you're an hour and 49 minutes in. Like, what's another, 11 minutes? You might as well just stick it out to the end to say you've watched the movie. So I feel like we have to watch the end of the season because we've invested so much time and effort into this whole debacle.
Yeah, I'm just curious to know what other people are
How
thinking.
does the train wreck end?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
how? Well, you know how it's going to end. Portia's probably going to win,
Well,
unless people say, well, you know what, Rachel really fought, and
that's
let's
what I
give
was
it to
going
her.
to say. I was going to say that, although she's hated, Rachel against maybe like an Adam,
Adam will win, but no,
but
Rachel will
maybe
win.
not, because
Rachel will
Adam
win.
did nothing all season.
Yeah,
And I think that it was a huge mistake for Rachel to keep Portia. She should have kept Kalia, because against Kalia and against Adam, she would win, because they were both such floaters and did nothing. And they kept saying, Kalia, all she does is sleep, 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 sleep. They wouldn't have given $500,000 to a sleeper all week. Sleeper all season.
So I mean, but look at what Portia did. So it's down to Portia and Rachel. I mean, it's down to those two.
Yeah, you got two floaters and one person that's actually worth competing against.
I mean, Rachel is so crazy. She made it through the game by having the worst social game in Big Brother history.
Ever. Twice.
Twice having the
Twice.
worst social game in Big Brother history and making it this far. So she obviously has some kind of game. So I think by default they'll give it to her because.
But part of
she
it
played.
also was the people that kept putting her up. Nobody ever voted her out. She was
Why?
up on the block several
Yeah.
times.
You know why?
And nobody's ever voted her out.
And because everybody had the
They're
feeling.
freaking idiots.
No, yes, they're idiots, but I think everybody looked at it as, well, if I'm up against on the block against Jordan, as long as Jordan is, I'm sorry, as long as Rachel's in the house, the target is off of me, so
Right.
let's keep her. But
Oh
everybody
yeah, that worked
had
really
the same,
good for the last, 9-10 weeks.
Listen, she was up against. I mean, they wanted Jordan out before they wanted Rachel out. They wanted Jeff out before they wanted Rachel out. So what does that say? Which that was some nutty.
I don't understand why though. Even if they go by the logic of, oh, I want to keep Rachel because she's a bigger target, but you've seen for the past 5-6 weeks, every time she goes on the block, whoever she's against goes home and not Rachel.
Yeah. I don't think, you know what? I'm curious why nobody realized that. Why nobody said, you know what, Rachel has to go. Rachel has to go.
Right.
Why do you think that was, Jess? Do you think the theory is that she's such a maniac?
She's
Everybody
so
felt that the
hated.
target was off
Everyone
of her?
felt safe. Everyone felt safe. And if everyone felt that, again, in the final two, they could win. They could win against Rachel because she's hated.
I don't think so.
However, in the end, I think that what we've created is several housemates that have made it through the season without doing anything the entire season. And now Rachel might actually be looking very good. Because there are these moments, these flickers of sanity in Rachel that you see. And you see the competitor. You see the heart. So if it was Kalia and Rachel standing up there, I would totally vote for Rachel to win.
All right, so let's go down a list. You have Jeff and Jordan, which are going to vote for Rachel, right? Rachel, Brendan, Rachel. Danny, no. Danny will vote Portia. Kalia will vote Portia. Shelly and Adam are the swings. Portia and Adam just had a big fight. So it can't be a tie. No, that's not possible. So who else is in there? I'm missing somebody. Who am I missing, Sunkast?
I don't know.
Jeff,
I sent
Jordan.
you the casting
Oh,
show.
here we go. So let's look at it. Well, who's in the house? That's the thing. So we have Kalia, Danny, Shelly, Jeff, Adam,
Brendan.
Jordan. Well, Adam votes too. So
Yeah.
and Jordan. Yeah, you know what? Rachel could win it.
She could totally win it.
Rachel, you know what? Adam might vote Rachel because he's such a fan, and Shelly will vote Portia. So it's going to be 4-3. Rachel could win. The swing vote really is down to Shelly. Well, Adam, I think, will vote for
Well,
Rachel.
What if it was Rachel against Adam, and Portia was in jury
Which
house?
it won't happen. I think through the roof, Rachel has to win because regardless of Rachel being liked, they will vote for Rachel because she played. She played really hard. She played way too hard. The only chance, you know what? They're all idiots. They should have gone up against Jordan because Jordan did not play at all. She's liked, but did not play at all. And she already has $500,000, and Jeff already won a couple $1,000s. So that she would not have won.
Right.
Yeah, Portia was kind of an idiot when she won the POV and she put Rachel up instead of herself. And then she voted out Jordan instead of Rachel, who she knows is a competitor. And that first part of the HOH competition is always an endurance. So, of course, Rachel's going to win. So, why would you not vote out the person that you know is going to at least make it to Final 2?
Yeah, Jess, I was surprised by that.
Yeah.
That she voted Jordan out rather than Rachel.
Right.
Why would you vote someone that has won previously?
Well,
you have the best chance of beating in the competitions.
The only thing I can think of is that Rachel spared her the week before.
Spared who?
Portia.
It doesn't matter at this point, though.
Yeah.
He spared her. She could have sent Kalia home instead of her. And really, the game would have been very different if she had sent Portia home.
had gone home.
And I think maybe Portia knew that. Portia knew that she was keeping a competitor. Because Portia always calls herself like, it's like her and Dan. She's like, Danny, Rachel, and I were the strongest females in the house.
They're the only female. There's two others floaters. There's Shelly and Jordan.
Right, but
They're
she
all
always
floaters.
says that.
Shelly's half a dude. Well, no, you got to count Adam as a chick in that house.
Well, Adam all of a sudden starts winning. The last 2 weeks,
Yeah, when it doesn't
he won a
matter.
POV, and then he
That's
won an
because
HOH.
there's really nobody else there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
I mean, Jordan wasn't competing. Rachel wasn't competing in that one.
Right.
It's so funny how the season turned. I mean, you had such strong players. And you know what? Rachel and Portia, we found out is a good player once Danny left. But Portia did nothing for half of the season.
No, look, the only people in that house that really were worth anything in that house were the vets and a few of the newbies.
And
You have
Dom.
Keith, Dominic, and Cassie. I think were the only newbies that were even worth trying to compete in Big Brother. Everybody else, which was, I believe, Adam, Porsche, Shelly, Kalia, Lawan,
They all
sucked.
Yeah.
They're all floaters.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Portia did well later on. Portia
Yeah, but
did
then
well.
she was competing against Rachel and other floaters.
Yeah. Do you guys feel that Rachel is that strong of a player in Big Brother? Or do you think it's just she's... I worked with somebody once, and I'm sure both of you will get the reference. This person was like a tornado. Would do 1,000 things, move stuff around, yell, scream, but it seemed like they were getting stuff done, but they never got anything done. Is Rachel one of those people where it just seems like she got a lot done, but nothing was ever done?
That's an interesting question.
Because she caused so many problems and the fighting and the crying, but as a viewer, you feel exhausted and you feel, wow, you know what? She's out of her mind. She's loony. She's playing the game way too hard. Maybe that's her
I think
game.
she lucks out at times because the way they set up which competitions will be endurance and physical competitions, that's what she's good at. And by winning those, she's been able to stay in the game.
Yeah, she won. I mean, she did win. She did win.
The other half is just pure luck by them not actually voting her out whenever she was on the block.
I think she had the most days in the HOH room, right? Out of
She won,
anybody,
I believe
3
so.
times.
I think like half the 3 times that she won 3 times,
At least 3 times, if not 4.
and then Brendan won 1.
Yeah.
So she spent, I mean, a long time in the HOH house, HOH room. You have to remember that also does something to you as a player when you spend so much time in the luxury room compared to being on slop and not having any perks.
Right.
That also keeps you going.
Definitely.
You know, that last week where Danny, Portia, and Kalia were on slop, were the have-nots, that really destroyed Danny. That took a lot out of Danny.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
wanna,
she said that, though, when she came in the house again, how she went down to 90 pounds the last time she was on slop, and it really takes something out of her. So,
do you think Danny played the game weight a little too fast?
yes,
Jumped the shark. You jumped way too quick, right?
150%.
What week do you think how much longer should she have waited till she started really playing? I mean, she started playing like second weekend with the whole Dom thing. Third weekend. When she started fighting against wanting Jeff to be thrown out, wanting to backdoor Jeff to keep Dom.
She was in a very interesting position in the fact that she was given a golden key from the beginning because Evil Dick left. So she was in a very weird position because she didn't really have to compete or do anything for the first 4 weeks.
I think that kept a lot of people in the house.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you're talking 4 weeks, she had 2 chances of winning HOH.
I don't think there should have been a golden key.
No. But they wanted to ensure that there would be both veterans and newbies in the house.
At the end especially.
Because the veterans would have totally picked out the newbies.
Let them play the freaking game.
Yeah.
Let stuff happen. Don't try to fix everything to have the outcome that you want. Don't try to play the... See, CBS is an invisible player in the game.
Oh, yeah. They're the biggest factor.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times do we see game manipulation? We saw, and I never, and Jess, you've been following Big Brother longer than I have.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen this much game manipulation that's so blatant in your face. I mean, it's there was a joke, and I believe Online Big Brother posted a very, very funny thing, and I actually fell for it because it would have happened. There was a Photoshop picture that Online Big Brother posted, and it's Jordan eating her cereal, and out comes the golden power of the diamond encrusted power of veto.
Yeah.
And I called up Sunkast. I'm like, here we go again, and I fell for it because, I mean, at this point, you've done everything to make her,
of course,
make her stay. You've done everything to kind of say, well, no, Jordan has to stay, Jeff has to stay, Rachel has to stay, Brendan has to stay.
We've already seen them fix it a couple of times so that Rachel and Jordan and Jeff stay.
Yeah, you know, that really hurt me as far as a fan because I was really into it. Big Brother 11, I really got into it. Big Brother 12, I was dedicated. I watched even though I thought it was a weak season. This season, I was hoping it would redeem itself. I was hoping that you would have strong players in the house that were going to make moves. And obviously, CBS and Big Brother did not have faith in their total casting. Because they put a bunch of veterans in there, and it was a half-assed all-stars. And when you do that, you automatically make the viewers cheer for the veterans. I mean, I'm not talking about the hardcore, dedicated Big Brother viewer. I'm talking about, the average watcher. They're gonna feel familiar. They're gonna relate to a lot of these older names, and they're gonna cheer for them, especially when you have Jeff and Jordan in the house. And when you get Jeff and Jordan out of the house, it's gonna hurt a lot of people. And I think that's what happened. I don't know. Maybe that's one person's opinion.
It's very bizarre the way they set it up with the vets versus newbies, and then even the newbies that they had. In my opinion, 5 out of the 8 newbies that they had weren't even worth putting in the house.
Well, who was that one guy?
They weren't able to do anything.
Who was the one guy that didn't make it into the house?
Oh yeah,
do you remember
they took
him?
him out. I don't remember his name, but they took him out like right before.
Well, they did that last year too. Do you remember? Last year they had one too that they took out. I find that interesting because what if the casting was done a little different? I mean, let's look at the cast list here. We had Keith, which week 1 I said he's out the first week. I don't know what it was. I knew this guy was out. Portia, Adam, Dominic, which I thought Dominic would have been a very strong player. Danny, obviously we know she's a strong player. Shelly had a role as the mom. Brendan, Kalia. Kalia actually made it much farther than I thought. Jordan, we knew what was going to happen. Dick, I thought would just destroy everybody in the house, but for week 1 he left. Cassie could have potentially been a really strong player.
She was interesting.
Yeah, I liked her.
Yeah.
And she was the only one to actually confront Rachel.
Yeah. Rachel, Lawan, and Jeff, and we all know what Lawan's purpose was. He was comedic relief. He was, you always have that character in the house.
There was times where I wish they would have kept Lawan just for that purpose.
I know, but Lawan self-evicted himself, the dumbest move in Big Brother history.
Ever.
He voted himself out.
Ridiculous.
He goes, I'm going to come back with a special power. No, you're not. There's no special...
He didn't know that, though.
You know what, though? And again, the conspiracy theories. Do you think maybe CBS.
It's not a crazy idea if you look at what CBS has done.
It is, but do you think maybe CBS possibly set something to him in the diary room that would make him feel, or maybe have him, lead him into that decision to like self-nominate himself, to think that there's a special power?
Who's to say they didn't do that to everybody that came to the diary room?
Exactly. I mean, there were some weird moves. To see Danny turn on Jeff that fast, to see Jeff make that power move and get Danny out. I want to talk about Jeff a little bit this season because Jeff, I like him, but he is a loose cannon. He's not that put together. He's all emotion.
Mm-hmm.
If he didn't evict Danny that week during the double eviction, I don't think he would have been evicted. Or if he didn't fight with Shelly, I mean, he flipped on Shelly.
Right.
Because when he pulled a Rachel, when he got the power, he just went after everybody. He didn't care, and he did it more than once. He
screwed himself that week.
He did because he shot himself in the foot with Danny. He got Danny out, not thinking that anybody else would come after him. He went after Kalia, and pretty much told Kalia that she's going up on the block because she put him up. No matter how many times Kalia tried to align herself with him, she was begging him to be on the same page and to play together. And he pulled a dick move with Portia and said, you didn't come to me for 40-something weeks. You haven't played game. You should learn how to play game.
Right.
And his fate was in their hands. It's interesting how that happens, and I wonder if he thought like this was it. He got it. He got HOH. Rachel will get it the following week. He even turned on Brendan. He calls Brendan to go home and Danny to go home. And I guarantee he would have turned on Rachel. It's interesting.
Of course.
That was really interesting that he made those moves. Those were big, big moves.
Right. Absolutely.
And Jordan just walked around in the circles all season.
Poor Jordan. She was so silly. Jordan was just so silly.
What was that thing
Thank
that she
God
said?
for that humilitard.
Oh, yeah, the humilitard.
Oh, that was cute.
Wait, what was the, Jess, what was the thing that she said? I don't have a mentor.
I don't have a mentor. I think that I'm my own mentor. I think that people should look up to me, or I should look up to me. I don't have a mentor.
Just so dumb. So dumb. Dumb girl.
Well, I
loved her, though.
She also made another statement during the last few episodes ago when everyone is like oohing and eyeing over Brendan because Rachel gets her HOH room and it's all pictures of Rachel. Like they're all together, Brendan and Rachel. And there's a picture of him from last season or a few seasons ago when he was...
Last season.
Yeah, last season when he's so good looking. He's got hair and a little bit of scruff and everyone's like, ooh, the hair, ooh, the scruff, blah, blah, blah. And I guess they asked her, who's better looking, Jeff or Brendan in that picture? Mm-hmm. And she's like, I really think that, Jeff, because he's my Jeff. But Brendan's hot. Jeff. And then she like stops herself and then she goes back to Jeff.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it was really cute.
What do you think happened to her game? Well, she had no game.
I don't think she ever had a game.
She was doing it for Jeff.
Yeah.
She didn't even try it, right, Sunkast? With the last week, she didn't even go up to Portia and say, hey, listen, keep me.
Was there even a point, though?
Yeah, because if I was in Portia's situation and I could evict Rachel or Jordan, I know for a fact if I'm in Final 2, I'm going to beat Jordan.
But she was also set up to be a very safe person in that house between the Alliance and her being liked by the other house guests. Because she was that kind of player where you put her up, but you never vote her out until it's time to, you're the last man standing.
This is when the Final Four is when you really know the Big Brother fans, like the players that know the game. Because these tiny little decisions make a big difference. If you know the game, you know that the jury house, the people in the jury house are going to vote for whoever played the best. That is a fact. They're going to vote unless, there's some crazy situation that comes up. But pretty much whoever played the hardest will win that season. And that's why I'm sticking to Rachel winning this season.
Right.
I know Portia has a lot of friends in that house, but I think, if you leave it up to Adam is going to vote for Rachel. And Rachel played. I think Rachel played hard. really hard
Of
into that
course,
game.
because Adam's the fanboy.
Adam is a fanboy, but where does Shelley vote? Where do you think Shelley does? That's an
Shelley
interesting
would
vote.
not vote for a veteran, I don't think.
You think she's going to stick to?
Yeah, she'll stick with the Newbies Alliance because that's where I think she was at the beginning, because it was newbies, and that's who she came in with.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, if you watch some of the interviews after she was evicted, she was like, yeah, maybe I should have stuck a little bit more with the newbies.
That's what she said, yeah. I don't know. She jumped too because everybody found out what a flip-flopper she is. And she had a chance. She could have made it into Final 2.
Right.
She was one of the better players in there. In the sense that she had the social game. She didn't necessarily have the physical game.
Yeah.
But she had that social game, then everybody kind of liked her at that point. But then as people started going home and there was less people to, manipulate, and word started going around about what she said, people started comparing notes, and there wasn't enough people to compare notes with to twist things around.
When did people start realizing that she was a liar and she was playing both sides? It was when Rachel confronted her, right? Rachel,
I'm not sure.
I believe it was when Rachel confronted her.
I think that it's when she was sitting outside with Jeff. I thought that was when she was sitting
did she
outside
say?
with
Adam
Jeff.
was one of the first ones to notice that she was a big flip-flopper.
Right. I don't know. She was sitting outside with Jeff, and then she had just spoken to Jeff and Jordan about doing a final 3 deal, and then she goes outside and Portia says something like, I can't work with you because you're working with Jeff and Jordan. And she's like, I'm not working with Jeff and Jordan. And then a few days later, it was like, I heard you're working with Rachel. And she's like, I'm not working with Rachel. And she had made all these like final 3 deals. You always get caught in that. I don't know why people do that.
Portia told Rachel this morning that Adam threatened her this morning that if she doesn't take him, he's going to vote for me, meaning he isn't going to vote for me, so he's going to vote for Rachel. If I do take him, he will tell them all to vote for me to win. Why would he do that? And if I do take him, he'll vote for me to win. Portia tells Rachel that Adam wants the money for a wedding. Okay, so
does Rachel.
So does Rachel. Rachel wants the money too. This is why I think Adam is going to vote for Rachel. And Rachel will win.
Right.
Which, what a story that is, huh? That's another weird thing. One of the veterans won. The most unstable player in that house happened to win.
She can win the money, and then she can go to a psychiatrist and get help.
Right.
I mean,
so ridiculous.
I don't know. Jess, you're disappointed this season, right?
I'm so disappointed. So disappointed.
Where was the turning point for you? What do you think they could have done different this season that would have made you happy? Because we could all bitch and complain, but what would you have liked to see? What would you have liked to see from the beginning?
No veterans.
No veterans, right? All newbies.
I would have liked to see new people so that I could get to know them and like them, and
How about you, Sunkast?
The turning point for me was definitely Pandora's Box. I mean, I had doubts from the beginning when Evil Dick left, and that they were doing veterans and newbies. That to me was like, okay, well, how is this all going to work out? But then definitely when Portia opened Pandora's Box and magically duos are back and Rachel and Jordan are saved. Oh, come on, give me a break. That's total blatant manipulation of the game by CBS.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and we have to take a minute to talk about Donna Martin graduates and how Tori Spelling gets to come into the house
talk about it.
For Adam.
Talk about it.
And, Rachel gets Pandora's Box and she sees Tori Spelling pregnant in front of a bunch of clothes and says a shopping spree with a celebrity. So she opens Pandora's Box to get Tori Spelling in the house, and Tori Spelling goes in the house and hangs out with everyone, and everyone gets a shopping spree, and Rachel gets locked in the room with guess who?
No. I don't want to.
Yeah. Well, it's every single year. He's always a Pandora's Box. Jesse.
He's awful. What did she do?
Rachel should have known that, though. Come on. We already had Pandora's Box once this year.
We had a big one.
And it didn't work out the way, because obviously duels came back, so it was kind of a bad thing for the house. So obviously the next Pandora's box is going to be something good for the house.
Right.
What did she do?
She opens the box, and Rachel's supposed to now get like a shopping spree with Jesse, and it's all Jesse items.
They had
So it's
the
like
entire
Jesse
room decked out in
cups and-
Jesse merchandise.
Right, like
brilliant.
Jesse, and he's wearing just like a little spandex nothing.
Speedo.
Ugh.
You know what though? I would have liked to see Jesse in the house this season.
And then
Might as well just keep. You should have brought him back. Replace Dick with Jesse. Would have
Well,
been great.
okay, so
Time for that.
so okay, so as Rachel goes downstairs to now say like I hate you guys, I hate you guys, I hate you guys, Jordan comes over and is like, so what happened? And she says, that she was stuck in the house with Jesse, and Jordan goes, "Ugh." Just like that. It was so funny.
That whole thing was just bizarre because they actually set up a TV monitor in Pandora's box so that Rachel could see Tori Spelling enter the house and the shopping spree that they went on. And she's totally ignoring Jesse and just watching the TV monitor. And Jesse's
Yes.
like, why aren't you paying attention to me? We got all this great merchandise. You want me to sign something for you? Where's that plate you picked out? I can sign that for you.
Right. Don't you want me to sign this to caught you watching, caught you looking or something?
Are we gonna see All Stars next year? Do you think they're doing All Stars? I mean, this was a half-assed All Stars. I'm curious to know what happened to Will and Boogie. It would have been
They
great.
saved them. They saved them for next season.
You think
That's
so?
what I think.
You think that's what it was?
Yeah.
'Cause-
Let me say something here, because I've only watched season 12 and season 13. I
Yeah,
haven't
you
seen
got into it
any
later.
past BB season. And I did the other day look up Will and Boogie, and I saw those phone call diary rooms.
Oh, brilliant.
That they did. That was like pales into comparison to anything I've seen in both season 12 and season 13.
Yeah.
It goes to show you how friggin' horrible these seasons have been the last couple of years
Well,
compared to what they had before.
I think CBS has started to be the silent player. You're right. CBS is a silent player, and
It's like the
CBS
14th
and they've
house
always
guest.
done. And listen, and I'm not blind to the fact that in the 12th season, the 13th season that this show's been on, that they haven't done in the past. Of course they do it. They control the game. They kind of decide what people are going to do. But this season, it was just so in your face, and I think after last season's mishap with Annie, you start questioning, and like now, Jess, I'm questioning everything. The whole thing with Shima in season 11. Mm-hmm. How do we know that wasn't meant to be?
Right.
With her going crazy. I mean, there are different things that could happen, and it's kind of hurt the game for me having this weird inside knowledge in some way from noticing all these things that, it sucks. I hope they this is the thing. If they do an All Stars, who are they going to put in?
It's gonna be the same people. It's the same
I don't
season
think
over and over
Jordan will
again.
come back. I don't think she'll do it again. I don't think Jordan will come back.
Right.
Don't put Rachel in because they love Rachel.
Well, there's a lot
Rachel
of other players.
loves being there.
I think there's a lot of other plays you could do. Dick, obviously, they want to bring him back. So Dick could come back. Will and Boogie could come back. You would have to do season 10, but there was nobody from season 10 that was that memorable. Season 11 was Rachel and Jeff. So you would have Enzo. You would have Enzo. You would have Matt. You could have those guys from last season. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, you burnt it on this season. It would have been a great All-Stars if last season they had done... If they had kept All-Stars for next season and had new people in the season, you would have created new talent. You didn't get to discover anybody. And even the talent that was discovered, do you think Dom, Cassie, Keith could ever be an All-Star? Shelly, Kalia, Portia could be an All-Star? Dom had only a couple of weeks in the house. He can't ever be an All-Star. He could have if he was in the house.
But that's the problem is that everybody sucked up to the vents because they were the ones that knew how to play the game. So of course you're going to follow the people that know how to do all this already. You're going to take your cues from them. So the newbies are already screwed from the beginning because they're following the leader, and of course the vets are in it for themselves.
Yeah, and it was weird. It was really weird that they did this, and I don't know what kind of outcome they wanted. I'm sure CBS wanted some sort of outcome, but I'm curious to know what kind of outcome they wanted.
Right.
Do you think that had Evil Dick been in this season, it would have actually been interesting?
Yeah.
It would have been turned crappy.
Yeah. I think Dick would have kept things interesting, and Dick knows how to play the game.
Despite it being vets and newbies and the way it's turned out.
Dick is a very, very intelligent guy, and he knows how to play the game. He knows what CBS wants. He knows what CBS doesn't want. He has a really inside view, and Dick is a super fan of the game. He's been dedicated to the game, and I think Dick was supposed to be on one of the early seasons, and they kept holding him till this last season, till 8. But I think if he was in the game, we would have seen a totally different outcome.
Right.
I think Portia would have aligned with them. That would have been the big thing. Because he was pulling Portia to align with him. Portia would not have been sided with the newbies. I think it would have been different. It would have been a lot more competitive, I'll tell you that much, between Jeff, which is a competitive guy, Dick. I don't think Danny would have been as competitive because she would have been relying on Dick.
It was such a clique with the veterans there for the first few weeks. It was like, you can't do anything to them.
But see, the
How
dummies,
do you do anything to
but
them?
the dummies, no. But here's the problem with that. Also, Danny jumped that click way too fast.
Yeah,
she could have hung on for another 2 weeks. She wanted Jeff out from the beginning. She decided that she wants Jeff out, which I found interesting. Why that move happened. It's interesting, and I don't know. I don't know how to explain it anymore because it just I'm exhausted by what happened this season. I'm exhausted by the bad moves. I'm kind of tired of Jordan and Jeff and Rachel and Brendan. I got exhausted with that, and there was no likable character from the newbies that survived.
Right.
Dom would have done well. Dom was an interesting guy. I liked him.
And they screwed up bringing somebody back too because they evicted Brendan, which he was able to come right back in.
Yeah.
So they screwed that up.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is another thing, and they got Lawan out to bring Brendan in, so they kind of sacrificed Lawan for Brendan, and again, it was the same thing they did with the returning of the alliances. It was either Rachel or Brendan that was going to stay in the house. Because if Rachel went home that week, Rachel would have fought against Brendan. Brendan would have stayed. Brendan would have said, no, you go in the house. Mm-hmm. And Rachel would have gone in.
Yes.
So you were going to keep
God
one of
they
them.
were split up, though.
I don't know. It was bad. It was really bad. I don't think it was bad as 10 because I found 10 to be awful. Jess, do you think 10 was that bad?
I didn't think it was that bad, but I think
10
it was
awful.
better than this season. I do.
You do?
I think this
Really?
is the worst season.
Why do you think 10 was better than this?
I just think this is the worst season ever. I think that it was like everything that they could throw in. Like nobody knew what they were doing. It was just
and then
like,
a volcano will
right.
erupt.
Like I would not be surprised if there was a volcano tomorrow.
Yeah.
In the Big Brother house.
And then Jeff and Jordan come out of the volcano, and then the season gets extended for another 2 weeks.
Exactly. Like it's winter Big
They
Brother.
They should have like a wild card at the end. Somebody that was evicted in the first 4 weeks comes back and has a chance to win it all.
Yeah, that's brilliant. But then it's not fair to the players.
No, it's not, but it makes for great TV.
Yeah, I mean, you could have done something. You know what I mean? Like you could have, if you felt that, if you were CBS and you felt that the season was not doing so great, what you could have done is said, okay, Cassie, Dom, Keith, blah, 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 you guys compete in some sort of competition to come back in the house. And that's the twist of Pandora's box. One of the original 3 or 4 that got evicted comes back. And you could have done that early on. You could have done that, the 5th week in.
I agree.
You want a twist. Encourage the new people. Develop new talent. Because now you have Big Brother 13. I'm sorry, Big Brother 14. And if you decide to do an All-Stars, you cannot because you develop no talent from this season. Nobody is All-Stars material from this season.
No.
Portia, get out of here. What are you going to do with her? There's so many other big names.
She just sits around. She doesn't do anything.
No.
And she's
It was
boring
and she's not
dumb.
a fan. And here's another thing. it's the gameplay between fans and non-fans is really fascinating. Dom is not a fan of Big Brother. Dom had no idea who the hell Dick was.
Right, but Adam is like a super fan.
Dom goes, oh, it's some old guy with his girlfriend. Dom had no clue who Dick was. Keith was another one that was not a big fan. Keith was useless. That guy. He self-destructed week 1. You always have that. You always have that one guy that just can't handle it. You know,
that was
like
good TV, though.
Yeah, it was really good TV. And it was predictable. When I saw this guy, when I saw his mug, I said, this guy is not going to do it.
But that's something that you do want to see that first week. You want to see somebody miserably fail that first week, just totally screw it up for themselves.
You know, I honestly thought Rachel would be failing and failing and failing. I thought
she
Rachel
did to a degree.
Man, you know, keeping her in the house, I don't know what people were thinking.
I don't know. See, that's what I don't understand. For all the times that she was on the block, she was never, ever, ever voted to be evicted. I'm like,
because I think
she's somebody that I think the newbies should have gone after when they had the chance and gotten her out.
You know, because these people feel that they have a chance against her in the final 2, which is not true in my opinion. They do not.
I think they really feel they do.
But I don't think they do at this point. You know, you're gonna have Jeff, Jordan, Brendan, and Jeff, Jordan, Brendan definitely voting for Rachel. So you have 3 votes there. You have Danny, Kalia voting for Portia. I'm sure Shelly is voting for Portia. Adam is a swing vote. Adam is a total swing vote.
Oh, 100%. You never know.
I mean, listen. Portia could win, but not by a landslide. I mean, you're talking 3 to 4, and that 4th vote is in either court because Adam is such a super fan.
Right.
Now, what if it ends up being Portia and Adam? That's kind of what I want to see.
Well,
I don't necessarily want to see Rachel and Adam or Rachel and Portia. I want to see
Portia,
just
Adam.
because this whole season has been screwed up already, and I don't really give a crap, and I don't like Rachel at all. I'd rather see Portia and Adam just because it's the 2 biggest floaters, and then you'll have to have Rachel voting for somebody who is, by her definition, a floater.
Okay, so here we go. Jeff, Jordan will vote for Adam. Shelly will vote for Adam. Portia, Danny and Kalia will vote Portia. Rachel, see, this is the thing. What does Rachel vote? Because whatever Rachel votes, that's what Brendan is voting.
Right, it's like a double.
It's a double vote. So I believe because of the friendship that they've made, well, unless Portia, no. If Portia evicts Rachel, Rachel's going to say, go to hell, I'm voting for Adam. So then Adam wins.
Right.
So Adam wins.
I think Adam's going to win. I think that if Rachel,
if
Rachel ends up in the double 2.
Well, Rachel won HOH part 1. Portia won HOH part 2. They kind of have an alliance now saying, well, I'm taking you. Because Adam doesn't compete in the 3rd one. So Adam is automatically, out. So Adam cannot win HOH. So if Rachel wins.
Who's going to be more beneficial to Rachel to have in jury, though?
Exactly.
Adam. Adam is more beneficial right now. Well, it depends. If Portia wins and decides to kick Adam out, then, Portia, Adam is going to vote for...
But then again, Rachel has had some sort of alliance with Porsche since the beginning.
Yeah, but if Rachel... If I were to kick you out, would you vote for me?
That's not necessarily true.
No,
sometimes that happens.
What do you think Portia would do if Rachel... If she goes out and Rachel wins and Rachel kicks out Portia? I mean, they do have a final 2 deal right now.
Right.
So...
I think Porsche would vote for Rachel over Adam.
No, she wouldn't, because then she's going to vote for a date with Danny and Kalia.
She won't. Rachel won't vote Adam because Adam was a floater the whole season. Rachel will go with Portia, and she'll probably say, even though you voted me out, I hate you, blah, 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 blah. But she'll stick to her guns with, like, I want players, not floaters. Floaters, grab a life pass.
You know what was interesting? I was watching the other night on the feed, and they were doing this whole, like, rundown of the people in the house. Like, they were saying, like, oh, Big Jeff, blah, 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 blah. And, oh, Brendan, blah, blah, blah. She wasn't in that weird character.
Yeah.
Did you notice
I noticed that?
She was, like, normal. Which is fascinating. I found that really interesting. And another thing, she really should go to get the... Like, I'm sorry, Brendan, but you got to send her for the Botox. I know he doesn't like it, But I was looking at her from last season to this season, and with all the Botox and the hair extension, she looked a lot better.
Did you see what she did earlier this week?
Oh, yeah, tell everybody. That's funny.
She put her deodorant on over her shirt.
What?
Yeah, she forgot she was wearing a shirt.
Oh, can we take a minute to discuss how Portia during the shopping spree just took off her shirt, and you see her for like full 2 minutes just walking around with no shirt on? Like she doesn't, like the whole point was put as many clothing pieces on as you could.
And what was she doing? She
just took her shirt off, and then she like walked around like looking at all the different items.
Does she not understand?
I don't think she got it.
Well, you know what she did get though? A couple pounds in that house. That pink sweater. Oh my God! I'm so glad I won't get to see that.
Rachel actually says, I need to go on the shopping spree, not Portia. Portia just wears sweatpants all the time, and now she's retired her pink suit, and now she's just wearing gray.
Is that what she said? She retired it?
No, I'm saying it.
Oh, okay.
Now she's just always in gray.
I don't know. That's something.
From eating all that damn ice cream that they give.
You had so many good players in that house, and it was just such a disappointment. Well, you know what? It was an experiment that CBS did, and if they observe what we did, I don't think they're ever going to do it again.
God, I hope not.
To wrap it up, who do you think is going to win this season, Joss?
Rachel.
Sunkast, how about you?
I had to kind of agree with Jessica. I don't want to agree, but I'd rather see Adam or Portia win.
Adam or Portia? Yeah, well, I would too, but I think Rachel also. So unanimously, all three of us say Rachel. This wraps it up for today's Big Brother Rewind. We're going to do one more final show to kind of settle in everybody as to what we hope to see, and it's going to be a total aftermath show, and we'll talk about what happened and kind of regroup on everything that we've discussed over the past season on Big Brother. I'm probably next Monday we'll do it again. We'll keep you up to date. Go to our website, guysfromqueens.com. Also go to streams at gfqlive.tv. Hopefully the show will be up by the end of tonight, and we'll find out, I guess, on Wednesday who the winner of Big Brother 13 is. From Jess, Sunkast, and myself, we wish you all a good night.